This is group Doki Doki. I am Jiwei.
And I'm Kushing. So in this video, we will be discussing J.S.Bach's prelude in E Major BWV854.
This piece, BWV854, was composed by J.S.Bach in around 1720. Bach was born in 1685 in Eisenach, and he was a German composer and musician for the Baroque period. This piece, BWV854, was composed by J.S.Bach in around 1720. Bach was born in 1685 in Eisenach, and he was a German composer and musician for the Baroque period. As we did more research on this piece, we found more important details and ideas which we can include in our performance.
There are 4 details in this piece which we found during our research, and we thought that it is crucial to be analyzed carefully and include in our performance. As a performer, my duty to bring out the suspension in this piece. Instead of playing it normally, I should be aware in sustaining the D note in bar 12 to following chord to bring out the tension in the music. So before analyzing this piece, I used to lift my finger up before I played the next chord, which did not really create the desired tension in the music. So this is how I play before I analyzing this piece. However, after I analyzed this piece, I held the note all the way to the next chord, so that when the underlying harmonies change, the tension can be heard. This is how it sounds like now.
By analyzing cadence, we can study Bach's indented dynamics. We all know that, at least in Bach's equal temperament and fugue, we rarely see symbols such as forte or piano. In this case, we can use cadental point to determine the loudness and the softness.
Perhaps in everyone's impression, the general dynamics for cadence is from loud to soft, so that it matches the end of a phrase or the entire piece. And such a common practice in this piece does not apply to all termination. There are 3 cadences in this piece. The first perfect cadence is our most common cadence, so we use fade-out precision, just like this. As for the plagal cadence at the end, in the past, maybe I would directly fade out, just like this. After analyzing the plagal cadence, I have to consider other methods of playing. First of all, the melody line is going up in an ascending motion. If I were to use the previous method and play a decrescendo, it would sound odd. However, if I were to play it from soft to loud, it will sound more natural, just like this. If perfect cadence gives listeners a sense of ending, then the plagal cadence in the piece feels more like moving towards lighter feeling or more upward and open ending.
So besides cadence, where can we get hints of changes in dynamics? We can analyze the chords and the colors of chords to determine the change in dynamics.
For example, there was a very obvious color change between the bar 4 to bar 6, from major to minor gradually, though we must not ignore such color change and express them deliberately. It will be boring if you don't show it. Just like this. For example, it's very simple, playing stronger in major and weaker than major in minor. Even this simple change will bring about a great change in the sense of hearing.
When planning Bach's works or multi-voice works, one of the most important points is having to deal with one small sentence after another. I think this is a very difficult part that requires a lot of practice. First of all, we need to realize what small sentences are.
For example, in the first bar and second bar, the melody line needs to be processed includes not only the more obvious melody on the right hand, but also the left hand part is in the middle. If it's not handled, it's just like this. So judging from the ascending and descending of this piece, it gets stronger before the A note, then weakens a little, and then weaken again in a closing phrase. In other words, we need to deal with the middle melody line at the same time as the right hand melody, just like this. There are many such phrases, and every small phrase needs to be processed so then the audience can understand the end of the voice. This is very difficult part of playing Bach, which means that we need to clear about where each Bach ends and where to start.
During our analysis and performance, we are faced with some challenges, one of which is bringing out the color of the piece. In Bach's 10 to 12, there is a key modulation from E major to F sharp minor, and in another performance videos, we have watched the performer bring out a color change in the piece. This color change is very unique. However, when Kexin attempted to bring out the color change, we found it a challenge.
Another challenge is sustaining the pedal note in bar 1. Due to the nature of the piano, it is difficult to sustain the note for more than a bar. I find it essential to sustain the note as it would be more accurate performance. Following the score, this can be done by giving more emphasis on the pedal note by playing a little louder, making sure the sound will sustain through 2 bars without decaying.
Okay. During our analysis and performance, we are faced with some challenges, one of which is bringing out the color of the piece. In Bach's 10 to 12, there is a key modulation from E major to F sharp minor, and in another performance videos, we have watched the performer bring out a color change in the piece. This color change is very unique. However, when Kexin attempted to bring out the color change, we found it a challenge.
Another challenge is sustaining the pedal note in bar 1. Due to the nature of the piano, it is difficult to sustain the note for more than a bar. I find it essential to sustain the note as it would be more accurate performance. Following the score, This can be done by giving more emphasis on the pedal note by playing a little louder, making sure the sound will sustain through 2 bars without decaying.
Overall, through this process, we learned that we have a deeper understanding of Bach and his preludes.
Turn the inspiration into theory to demonstrate our musicality. We even discovered the greatness of Bach and the subtleties of the prelude and fugue styles.
Through analysis, we can determine the relationship between the voice, grasp the movement of the whole piece, and make the performance more refined.